So today guys I'm going to be showing you how to make this carrot slash potato slash beetroot slash wheat farm that you see right in front of you. So it works for any of those crops and it's actually pretty simple to make. Now the version you see in front of you is multi-level. You can have it as many levels as you like, or even just one level if that's what you want to do. If we just hop inside very quickly, you'll get a rough idea of how this works. We have a villager here that is a farmer villager because of the composter in the middle underneath the glowstone that lights up the entire farm. He feeds whatever the crop is. In this case, on this level it's potatoes, but as I mentioned it could be carrots and other things. He tries to feed them to this villager, and when he does, these hopper minecarts pick them up and take them down below into a storage system, and of course from there you can do whatever you like with it. Now I have listed in the description and comments a few things that you'll find helpful. First of all, a couple of videos that I took inspiration from, one of which is a similar design to this, but I have massively reduced the amount of hoppers needed, which I know can be quite useful, particularly if you're early game or don't have an iron farm. The other thing I'm going to do is put timestamps down in the video description and comments, so you guys can skip to the bits of the tutorial that you need as and when you need them. Just to say, in terms of drop rates, I can open this up right here. We have 3 levels of carrots, 2 levels of potatoes, 1 level of beetroot. I built the carrots first, then potatoes, then beetroot, and this is what we've got in the time that I've built it. So honestly, it is really fast, and I mean, if you're using this for getting food or villager trades for emeralds and that type of thing, you're going to get a lot of this very quickly. So without any further ado, let's jump into the step-by-step tutorial here in survival mode. And of course, if you have any questions on how to get this thing working, then leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. Okay, so first up, you want to get yourself something that looks a little bit like this. And the blocks that you're seeing going around the perimeter here, which are the lime, glass, and orange concrete that I've used, can be any solid blocks that you want to use. I just kind of like these colors for a carrot farm, which is what this predominantly will be. Now, what you want to do is get yourself this center spot here and come out 4 blocks in each direction like this and fill it in with dirt as I've done here. So you've got like this area here completely filled with dirt, and you're then going to till the whole thing, but of course you will need your water in the middle for that to work. So I'm going to go ahead and till this whole thing now, and then you want to plant whatever the crop that you're going to grow. So in this case, obviously we're growing carrots, and we're going to get that done. Now you could theoretically plant the crop at any stage, but it just makes sense to do it early on because then they can be growing while you're building the rest of the farm. It's a bit more efficient, just saves a little bit of time. So next up, you want to decide which side you want your items to be collected from. And on that side, you just want to do a little thing like I've done here, where you dig out 2 like this and carry the walls on around as well. Then you can get rid of this block right here, closest to the farm, and there's going to be hoppers going down from there into your storage system or whatever else you want to do with the items you collect. So this is where the collection system will be. So if we just jump down here like this and head up on our scaffolding, we can then place down where the chest is going to go. So essentially, what we want to do is place the chest down one further, like that, and then the hoppers are going to run down into it. So these blocks here were just temporary blocks, you can get rid of those. But essentially if we go back up here now, we simply place our hoppers going down into that chest, and that's where all of our items will go, and then obviously from there we can do whatever it is we want to do with them. So place a hopper there and a hopper there, just like that, and this is how it will look. So those hoppers there are going to collect your items, pass them down to that chest, and if you build extra layers to this farm, which I will come on to in a second later on in this video, all of the items will also funnel down this same route here. So all of them collect in one place, which keeps things nice and easy in terms of handling the storage and the items that you collect from the farm once it has been farmed. So really the next stage is to get villagers into the farm, and the villagers will be there doing the farming work for all of our crops and also kind of feeding each other as you saw in the beginning. So what we're doing now is just heading over to our villager breeder, and I do have links down in the description if you want to know how to make this thing. I've got a tutorial on that. So basically if you're in survival mode, obviously you do need to get yourself villagers somehow, you know, from breeding them or from a village, whereas obviously in creative mode it's kind of a different story. So what we're going to do is just kind of connect these tracks all up here, and it will connect up to our bridge and go off in the right direction, and it's just going to kind of dump them there in the right place. So I'm going to need to find a way of powering that rail. Maybe they'll actually make it without needing that, but basically we've got a load of villagers down here, so all we need to do is flick this switch, set a minecart on there. It should pick a villager up for us. There we go. He's going to get over there. As long as he makes it to that bit, then we're going to be good. Yep, there we go. We're good. Okay, so now we're going to follow him. Here we go. And we'll see what happens when we get to the other end in just a second. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to head up here following the path of our villager. And we're kind of stuck on top of him right now, I think. Yeah, I was worried about this happening. We're going to trample a few crops, but it's not the end of the world. But basically, he's now trapped in here. You can see when I let him out, there's no way for him to escape. So each layer is basically going to have one villager out here doing all the farming work. We're going to have a composter put on top of here in a second, and I'll show you guys that in a bit. So one of them will take up the farmer job. The other one is going to be trapped inside here. So we're going to come on to that as well in a second. For now, I can let this guy out, and he can just roam around in here and get used to his new surroundings. And we just need to make a little escape up here. Making sure that he doesn't get out, and now we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the next villager in, then I'll show you guys about the composter to get the farmer going on, and how we trap them in here and what items need to be placed here. There is a bit of a specific setup for this little area, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that when we come back. Then we need to grab ourselves a little bit of rail. We're going to place a rail on top of the hopper, and a hopper minecart there, just like that. And let's get my pickaxe out here. We're going to delete the little bit of rail just underneath there. There we go. So then next up, what we're going to do is place just a temporary block here like this. And we're going to lose this bit of ground here because we're going to do that. And actually, you know what? I'm going to just grab it the other way. So it's going to go like this. Just because it will look all uniform then, which is a small thing. Then I'm going to get rid of this one right here. Okay, that's going to sit on top of there. Finally, we're going to place a trapdoor there. So this time, as I said, we're going to get our villager in after we've done all this. I did it the other way around on the floor below, but this is going to be better for you guys to do it this way. So we can go ahead and hoe these two back and obviously plant carrots there when we have enough. I didn't quite have enough, so I've just planted these here around this water in the middle. And if you've done it correctly, the glowstone from the level beneath will be there. So that's how you can kind of gauge it. So then we're going to place our composter in the same way as before in the middle there. And now all I need to do is add the rest of the carrots once I have them and the villagers. So again, we're going to run the rail. We're going to get a villager dropped into here, and we're going to get another one dropped into there. Now, dropping one in here should be pretty straightforward from the clip before. What I'm going to do in depth is show you exactly how to get a villager directly into there when you're doing this in survival mode. So let me go and set all of that up, and then I'll show you guys that once we're ready. Okay, so once you have your area set up there with the hopper minecarts and the trapdoor, as we saw before, and we also want to get a villager in here so that he takes the farmer job from this composter, and then the last thing to do is get the villager in place here. So what we're going to do is build up a little area just like this. And I just want to show you guys that these blocks here on these corners do need to be filled in, because when we destroy the minecart that the villager is in a second, if these aren't filled in, he'll glitch through into here, which we don't want. So by having this in place like this, once he's stuck there, we're going to kind of do a couple of little things, delete the minecart, and then he'll go down into the hole. So what I'm going to do now is just head off on my minecart down here, and we're going to swap it with a villager, get a villager in here, coming over to the farm, and when he gets up to the top there, I'll show you guys what you do with him at that stage. That's just the things that you need to do prior to bringing the villager over here in order for this to work. Okay, so here our villager comes, just down there. He's going to come up the rail that we've built here, and it doesn't take too long for him to get up. I've got a few powered rails in place, so there he goes. So what I want to do now is just get rid of these bits of rail here, and we're then going to kind of box him in like this, so he's got nowhere to go. We want to get rid of this one down here, just like this. There we go. And then we can hit him out the minecart, just like that. He's now stuck on that block because we had those other blocks in place. He cannot glitch through. So now what we do is we just get rid of this one right here, like this. And there we go, he falls down into there. We can then get rid of all of this stuff and go ahead with building the other levels as we want to, obviously if you are building multiple levels. But he's now in the exact right place, and this level is ready to start working. So pretty awesome. Obviously just the difficult thing being getting all the villagers here using the rail, but it's probably the fastest way of doing it. You know, you wouldn't really be able to do this with like boats or anything like that. So I definitely recommend this as being the way to do it. And as I said, I do have a video linked in the description of a villager breeder if you are looking for one. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how you can add levels to this farm. And of course you can add as many levels as you like, and each level can be something different if you want it to be. It could be, you know, carrots, wheat, potatoes, beetroot, whatever you like, or a mix in between of all different things. So basically this here is one level, right? And obviously I've built several to this farm, but this is what one level would look like at this stage. So if you're going to add to it, what you want to do is go around the perimeter and add blocks all the way around the perimeter, just like I'm doing right here. Now, that's kind of simple. The only bit that needs a little bit of attention here is make sure you place a block above the villager like that, so it's trapped in there. And then you want to get yourself a hopper and place the hopper down like that on top of there. And then you continue this all the way around. Now, I'm not going to do that all on cam, but that's basically what you would do. Then you want to get yourself down into the farm, or you could actually do this from the roof if you wanted, and making sure that you have your glowstone on top of the composter here, obviously by shift and right clicking on top with the glowstone. That provides light for the entire farm, but it also will make sure that the villager here does not get stuck in the composter, which would mess the farm up. Then what you're going to do is place dirt down on this block here that you've just placed around the perimeter like that. So in conjunction with this, if you're looking for a bit of frame reference, just above this trapdoor is where the dirt will start. And you're going to place that the whole way to cover the entire level. So what that is doing is it's giving a roof for this level, and then it will be also the farmland for the level above. Now it needs to go in every single block apart from the glowstone one. So you could, if you wanted, just build it like this. So you've left the hole where the glowstone will be. And what that'll mean is when you come to doing your next level, you'll have an immediate marker of exactly where your water is going to go. So you then place your water down in there with a composter on top of it and a glowstone on top of that, and rinse and repeat as many times as you like for however many levels it is that you want to build. Obviously, when you get to the final level, you're going to put some sort of roof on this. Make sure when you put a roof on that you either build it out of transparent blocks or slabs or something like that mobs cannot spawn on. So, I mean, you know, if you want mobs up there, it doesn't really matter, but it's just kind of good practice to not have them up there unless you particularly want them. Or the other thing you can do, of course, is light the roof up, again, preventing any mobs from spawning up there. But that's essentially how you do it, and then you build up the next level. So obviously, when we get up to the next level here, if this is, we're building along here like this, what we would do, if you're doing the same sort of design as me, is I've got the first layer here that would be all the orange stuff, and then the green glass would go on top of there. Now when you come to this area here, here's what you're going to do. You're going to block there, a block there, one there, one there, one there, and then continue with your perimeter. Because essentially this is where the villager is going to sit, and this is where you're going to place your rail with your hopper minecarts on top, just like we did earlier in this video. So that's how you add a layer to this. Hopefully that is pretty explanatory. But if you do have any questions about that or anything else regarding to this farm, please do ask me down in the comments or on Discord, all my information being in my video descriptions. And I'll do my best to get back to you and answer any queries you may have. But that's essentially how you add the levels. It's pretty straightforward. And obviously then all the materials that are collected from this level funnel through this hopper system the whole way down, just the same as the others, and into that chest that we had before, that same chest. And obviously from there, you can do whatever you like with those items. Well, there you have it, guys. A carrot slash potato slash beetroot slash wheat farm that is completely automatic and AFKable in survival Minecraft 1.15.2 and beyond. If you found today's episode useful or you just enjoyed it, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really is greatly appreciated. But for this episode, that's about it for today. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.